player on the active roster until only, I feel like, a day or so before the tournament even started when Quibs made his return. So great to get a little bit of that insight there on the desk as well. We're going to be headed into our second map here of Kafe. As Falcons, they're going to look to make this 2-0 on the series in the lower bracket final.
But it's going to be difficult because it's Kafe, and they got played out of the map against NIP yesterday. Falcons, one thing you will say about them, though, is they do have the defense going for them into Kafe, which, as we know, defense in Kafe, Ollie, is incredible. It is incredible.
So
but that didn't really happen yesterday.
Well, Falcons actually played Kafe twice yesterday, didn't they? Because they played it against G2 as well. And where NIP played Falcons out of the map on Kafe, Falcons played G2 out of the map on Kafe. Falcons got a cracking scoreline, a 7-2 over on Kafe to start things off against G2. They were good for 5 rounds on the defense, 2 rounds on the attack. So you would hope, with them starting on the defense here, that this would be fairly favorable for them. Something that I know that you commented at quite length yesterday, Demo, was a lack of a certain operator, certain Italian operator. Amira?
She's not Italian.
Not Italian?
She's not Italian.
I thought they were Italian.
Spanish.
Spanish.
The Italians are Maestro and Alibi. Spaniards are Jackal and Mira.
You're so smug.
I am
that.
smug.
Your eyes just lit up. You know what I think it is? I think it's the shotgun. I think it's the shotgun's called the ITA. I think I just linked that.
And you think that means Italy?
Yeah, I think I just linked that with Italy.
So what, the L98 that all the UK ones use, what does that mean? We're all Lithuanian? What does that mean?
I don't know. Talk to me about the mirror, Demo.
Talk to you about the mirror. Very, very strong. Top floor is incredible, but she also does see some play towards reading. They went for the freezer mirror towards right. Sometimes you can go for the freezer mirror and then the other one kind of more default, looking down towards longbar, which they've went for. Or they also could have went for the back from mirror window. That's also kind of your third option they've went for. So a little bit more tame. They're not looking to hold piano as aggressive as what you would expect to see. And the reason for that, Ollie, is they do have the mirror window, of course, in freezer, but they haven't opened up any head holes in towards piano. So NIP should be able to see it and say, hey, we can take piano this time. But the main thing that if you look at NIP yesterday and how they attacked this bomb site specifically, as I say that, a couple of head holes do get put in. NIP were able to take piano immediately and then we're straight into freezer. They're not going to be able to do it this time because there's a mirror window that they have to go through.
Cons was almost on a loop yesterday with how good he was at getting into piano and then acing open
just
that wall.
Yeah, that was it.
It was
because they reinforced the double freezer, yeah.
But now it's a very different affair because you've got somebody playing on that pixel spot.
Pixel as well.
You've got the Wamai playing behind the shield. That's going to be a little bit more difficult to root out. And then you're going to be dealing with the mirror as well. So a lot more to go through here. Great heads-up play from Cons, speaking of him. Gathered the info on the drone there. The cover of the Lion scan really working out for him.
He's reloaded for 2 bullets, by the way. Just to let you know, and Cons also eliminates Pixel. Falcons are swinging, but it's not working out for them. I don't know why Jalad went for that, because he is very, very safe behind a deployable shield. Mirror window will be opened up with the Selma charge. There's no mute in the lineup of Falcons, so there's going to be no denial for it. Quibs is trying to battle back, and Ollie, we kind of comment about Cons and how good he was yesterday. Deja vu again.
And look at what he's able to achieve here. He's got the drone working at his feet. I think it's even a Brava drone. Still forcing the players off that top floor, and, you know, mirror window, yeah, it was great. It kind of served its purpose because it forced Cons to go a different direction, but the end result is largely the same. 2 kills for NIP, full top floor control, and now they can really start to work on this floor. Safe in the knowledge, by the way, there's not even a C4.
Not even a C4. Falcons really struggle now because we know NIP, they'll come in and they'll start using the vertical angles, they'll utilize the hatch, and they will make sure that Falcons have nowhere safe to sit inside of reading. Falcons, if they try and go for the flank, we know that, you know, players like Wizard, for example, they lock down the flank extremely well on NIP. This is shaping up to be a very clean round and expected from them of how they played Kafe yesterday. Yeah, flawless to kick things off. That's how you start it in style.
Don't get too excited if you're an NIP fan. The first couple of rounds of Border were fantastic as well, and they very quickly went off the boil. Falcons have taken a couple of rounds to ease into these fixtures, but that being said, a flawless round to kick things off. NIP dismantling the setup there and not really coming up against any significant obstacle.
Yeah, again, cons for me. He was the key, wasn't he? First of all, he finds Joker, he had like 29 bullets, and he went for the reload. Then he gets caught out by it. That swing, needless from Jalad. You literally have a deployable shield that you can just sit behind. It's an ace. There's no nades. There's not even a nade ollie on the NIP lineup. I would like to see a mute be incorporated into that strategy, because they should know that Cons is always going to be playing that ace in this map.
I think that would really help.
It would just slow them down even more so. Especially
with the drone in that NIP are capable of. Cons got all those kills, but those drones at his feet the whole way. And he's screaming for lion charges as well.
And Mute on Kafe, it's one of his better maps.
Yeah.
Very, very strong. You think about actually getting drones into the building. It's difficult, especially via the top floor.
Yep.
You have to go for the hatches, which again is very easy to place a mute jammer and stop that. You think a cigar shop, you stack, you know, 1 or 2 mute jammers in there, ain't nobody know where you're at.
I do believe we're on a little bit of a pause here. The timer
We've had a drop.
Stuck at 5 seconds.
We're missing Muzi.
We don't have the full lineup for NIP. They might have got a flawless round, but I think they still probably need the full lineup here for this fixture. So we're going to wait until we get Muzi back into the server.
It's only fair.
True. Spoiler alert, we're going to see a repeat of the sight we saw last round. So Falcons obviously feeling like those first couple of kills maybe shouldn't have been. And you know,
they were avoidable kills.
They were definitely avoidable,
you'd say. So they think, yeah, let's run it back. Let's play a little bit more safe. Because, again, the utility that they're bringing, NIP will need to work to clear those mirror windows. Clear Pixel, for example. With no nades in their lineup, it will be difficult for them. And NIP should be probably expecting similar. And I would say they'll probably go for similar, where they will try and get Cons in very early on in towards Piano and start just opening up everything.
Well, as we move now into the round, not much for the Thorn this time. Clearly sort of reading into the fact that NIP didn't bring any nades last time. They may not bring any nades again, and well, we can already see that they haven't. Provided that nobody 6 picks, we get a couple of 6 picks come in, but neither Twitch nor Nomad possess the nades. I'm not too sure about the Nomad. I think the Lion was very effective in the previous round. I also think Bravo was fantastic. A lot of value out of that Bravo drone. But
attackers must locate and defuse the
I'm
bomb.
willing to be surprised.
Willing to be surprised.
Yeah.
Solus downstairs, Ollie. Potential runouts. We've seen that happen a few times, didn't we? We've seen O-Kills go for that play. Didn't really work out for him. Did he get any kills from the jump outs at all in Kafe yesterday?
No, Falcons were trying to play aggressively. In the NIP game, they were trying to play aggressively, but they didn't really get anything for it. Wizards the one dicing at the minute. You don't usually hang around too long on that rappel. You like to get yourself up onto the blacktop as soon as possible and then place your utility down.
Yeah, you look at the setup again, it's very similar for Falcons. Haven't really changed anything. They have that pixel shield again, which NIP will have to deal with. But see, Falcons, they're almost just waiting to see what NIP are going to go for. A mirror window will be popped. I just heard that happen. Which one is it though? Is it the one in bathroom, or is it okay? It's the one just there towards the cocktail bar. Oh, both of them. Wow, that is very, very big. That must be the Twitch drone.
Yeah.
Must have slipped in there and all. It just adds on to, hey, you should have brought the mute.
Absolutely. It's kind of shocking to not see the mute as well.
You always, if you're playing Mira on Kafe, you bring a mute.
I feel like Falcons are trying to play too far into the whole Fenrir and Solus sort of game, which isn't kind of working for them at the minute.
And NIP, this is where they're in their element, where they have that opening pick. They can probe, they can drone freely, they can find out where players are, and they will jump you with everything that they have. Joker is underneath Skylight right now. He hasn't been pressured as of yet. O-Kills maybe looking to see if anyone is straggling on towards that east side of the building. And Pino will find him an upside down rappel. He's ready for O-Kills, and again, that's too predictable because that's exactly what they did yesterday.
I was going to say, if Pino misses that, he's really been hard done to by some timing because he spent over a minute looking at that doorway there. He's really been very patient on that one. Now the pressure starts to mount as Pino's actually got himself into washroom. He's got a nice little challenge at the top of these white stairs as well. Switches to the skeleton key, but thinks better of it. He knows he's getting pushed from both sides, but the mirror has ducked down those white stairs. Great shot from Pino. Joker, he gets caught in the crossfire, and it's all down to P9. He's going to try and make his way back up. these white stairs. Gets a good little point of damage in, but 1 versus 3. Needs to try and single these out somewhat. The diffuser is in the hands of Cons, and P9's location is known now. That kit is going to start to go down. Full white flash. He's spraying for all he's worth. We can see his health getting chunked down there on the side. Wizard finishing things off with the pistol there.
Yeah, the Twitch drone got both mirror windows. Then at that stage, Falcons had to fall back. They couldn't sit in the safety of their mirror windows. And NIP just ruthless again, aren't they? It's very similar to what they were doing yesterday on Kafe. Falcons. A couple of question marks. I would say, again, you need to maybe think about the lineup. Again, I think the mute is just, it's such a necessity. I cannot explain how good mute is for those mirror windows. Ain't no one playing Thatcher these days. It's not happening. Ain't no one playing that. The EMP grades are rarely getting a look in as well, because I think Kafe is such a heavy utility map where it does rely on nades, it relies on flashbangs. Teams don't want to bring impact EMPs. They want to bring plenty of burn. I think Aruni always sees a good amount of play. Wamai always sees a good amount of play on this map specifically. There's going to be times where you will need to bring more utility just to get the burn through and just being able to actually get into the building. We talk so many times about Kafe. It is the toughest map to actually get into. The spawn peak game you have to play from the get-go is going to slow you down. Getting up to the rooftop's going to have to slow you down. Hatches, droning, see where they are. It all takes up time, and it's so difficult.
And you don't have to make all of it harder, you just have to make a couple of those elements a little bit harder. Things like this, challenging on the spawn peak. Even if the window's open, it might just force an attacker to go a different direction. You're gonna, we're gonna have to look at this, watch out for peaks, lads. You know, we're maybe gonna keep an eye out on this or that. And it does just take a good 20 to 30 seconds to get yourself in. Look at Muzi's. Not stuck behind the SWAT van, but he's worrying about one window, then he goes to worrying about wedding window. Passage to the building isn't granted, it isn't given for free.
40 seconds gone already.
Now you imagine if you had something that slowed down your information gathering.
Wow. Only there
start
was.
To get a little bit
Only. We're talking about Vigil, of course, aren't we? Wonder if they're going to try and go for the East take. One thing that NIP did bring a lot yesterday was the Capital. We've seen them try and execute with that, which worked pretty well for them. Joker. It's a good chunk from a nade, which is surprising as Zawamai, of course.
I feel like Quibs is numbered days here as well. Joker actually does manage to take Pino down there, low health or not. Will be discovered on the drone. Going to see another NIP player now go in and try and take that challenge, but Joker does have the ability to drop. This is better from Falcons. They've picked themselves up a couple of kills. Muzu will find Joker as he moves back to site, but immediately refragged by J-Lad. Psycho, you got half the round to play with. You know where the diffuser is. It's cold. You got 4 kills to find.
Yeah, this is just unwinnable. It really is. You're dropping into a pit of despair, essentially. Falcons, they're going to know where he is. They know he's up in the rooftop. Rava made herself clear very early on. You know, that Parrot's... It's a loud gun. It's pretty loud, isn't it?
Aha.
Big old calibers.
The timeout, potentially?
Yeah, I think you take the time here. Falcons, it just showcases top floor. It works. They didn't go top floor yesterday, which it drove me around the band that they didn't go up there. And there you go. They went top floor, and look what it's rewarded you. I didn't. Oh, top floor is so easy. It's so easy for the defenders because it's so difficult for the attackers.
NIP really getting trapped in that inability to trade. Falcon's going to take a timeout here. Not a bad time to do it. They may have called that before the end of the round. But it will give NIP a little bit of time as well.
I think that's probably a good timeout to call because I assume they'll probably head to kitchen now. So they can talk about how they want to set up kitchen. Because kitchen, you can set up a couple of different ways. You can set up just anchor inside of the site. You can try and utilize things like echo and smoke, just try and run down the clock, which we've seen NIP. I think yesterday in kitchen, they went very minimalistic. All they did was take bakery and just pushed in with a Monty, for example.
Yeah.
You can obviously do the extension in towards bakery, extensions towards restaurant VIP. You can go for a roam. It's up to Falcons how they kind of feel and what kind of vibe they're getting, and then they'll go from there. I wouldn't be surprised if the Monty comes in immediately for NIP if they know it is basement, because that is a comfort pick for them almost. And honestly, the fact that it's even made through the ban list is a bit of a surprise as well, because you would have thought that would be target number 1 just for that site specifically.
A lot of teams immediately ban away that shield when they're going up against NIP because they know that that's something that they will start to use. We'll see if the 6 pick comes through. We do move into preparation phase. We are getting a couple of 6 picks.
So
Cons over onto the Ossa.
Yes, they did this yesterday, remember. They had the Ossa. It kind of plays similar to the Monty, but it gives you a little bit more of, obviously, like fragging power, because you actually have a gun with that operator, unlike the Monty. What NIP will try and achieve is just a simple clear. They will just move around the map, clear everything, and they will try and target that backside, that freezer. They'll try and drop in with the Ossa, get the shield set up on the doorway, and then plant under the cover of that.
Oh dear, oh dear.
That's a good start, because that's the Lion, which we know teams will struggle against. It's always going to be good in those kind of late seconds to go for the push, and we've always talked about NIP. Whenever it does get to the later stages, they inject themselves with adrenaline, and away they go.
They usually are good in the latter stages of a round, and a Lion can certainly assist that. Certainly did wonders for them in that opening round as well, to working quickly off the back of that drone information. And let's be honest, it's Muzi. You don't really, I mean, you don't want to lose anybody, but Muzi could be an incredible fragger on his day.
Oh yeah, he was standout in this matchup yesterday. Yeah. He was the killer for NIP. Falcons, you know, the fact that they've got that first pick, we've talked about how important that is against a slow team like NIP, where every bit of utility, every player matters for NIP. NIP excel whenever they have that lone man, that extra man, and we see they're very clever in using the extra man, being able to send them to just a random point of the map, and will move in and backstab and hit you where you least expect it.
Pino, not sure how he's got himself into Freezer here. He's going to try and do something with it. Psycho, he's able to take down J-Lad. Feel as though Pino knows that he's hunting up here, but he's maybe not entirely sure what. Might have a clue that it's the Fenrir now, as he is going to do a little bit of remodeling up there, but both players just skirting around each other from the time being. With the man count currently as it sits, a 4 versus 3, it's essentially a good opportunity for NIP to hit the site, and maybe they know that.
Brilliant from P9. That's what you need to get, is you need to be able to pick off these individual players. Wizard is known just to kind of hold the flanks by himself. He will be that player who will sit and do the boring job almost, but it hasn't worked out for him that time. He got a bit of excitement, and it's almost been too much for him. Just, he's not expecting to see players so early in his face, but that does come with playing against Falcons, who are a very aggressive side. But Joker, I cannot stress how well he's doing. The time he's wasting, Quibs is trying to challenge onto the most important operator for NIP. He's setting the shield up outside only, but look at the time it's slowly taken away. Joker is still on check, and he could maybe get a kill here. They have no idea where he is.
I'm not sure how Pino has managed to dance around Joker for that long, but he's gotten away with it. Picks up the kill over onto Pino. Maybe a second, not quite. Levels things up, 2 versus 2, trying to get a bit of info onto Cons. He was trying to move through with that Ossa shield, but it just wasn't enough. Quibs was able to find the angle from below, and well, Psycho, he's going to drop into the freezer. Knows that there's likely going to be one inside of Christmas, lights him up a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. P9 locked down the site on his own for the whole round, still picked up 2 kills.
Yeah, you have to highlight P9, you have to highlight Joker. Joker wasting the time in the roam game was done extremely well. NIP, I'm scratching my head, thinking,
drones.
Why
Please,
is he
drone.
not getting collapse on immediately?
You can't solo clear the top floor.
I feel as though NIP did really well in hunting roamers yesterday as well.
They've done fantastically today. Think about some of the rounds on border. Even some of the early rounds here. This was almost the beginning of the end.
You've been on the receiving end of that a few times, haven't you?
I tell you what.
This is what you need to see from P9. I love that. He knows he has to get the kill back, and then obviously, yeah, Joker unchecked all day of the week. And then a very important kill as well from Quibs. You know, everyone from Falcons, that was one of the occasions where they've all just had their own individual 1v1s and won them. But NIP, for the most part, they just lacked any real bite. You know, it's a shark, but it's a shark with no teeth.
Well, there was no commitment, was there? Pino was in on the top floor on his own, and he wasn't really able to ever do anything. You can't jump in a drone if you're upstairs on your own because you're worried about getting swung, so you need someone to, and it all comes back to that spot peak. Yeah. Because it comes back to the fact that they didn't have that extra man to really help things go in the early stage of the round, whether Muzi was going to be behind a drone or on it. 2-2, all level here. We can't stress the importance of this matchup enough either for NIP. If they lose this, they're out.
That's it. Do or die.
Home time.
It is. And Falcons obviously playing for the pride of the country. A lot of pressure on that, isn't it? It's your own backyard.
Yeah, when you put it like that.
I'm not saying it's World Cup levels of intensity, but to us gamers, it is.
I think some of the Falcons fans sat in the stage. It will be as well.
NIP, 2 more rounds. And they're up against the mirror window setup for this reading once again. But Falcons have kind of changed it a little bit, Ollie. They've went for a castle now. So they probably thought that Joker isn't maybe getting enough support. He doesn't feel as safe. So they've brought in the castle barricades to try and assist that. Cigar Shop, in general, is one of the smallest rooms. What a swing from Joker. He's getting away with murder today, Ollie.
Psycho's had a nightmare there. He's lost both of his shock drones. He's gone to peek the hatch and immediately been domed. Another round where NIP are going to be fighting from behind.
I even like this position as well from O-Kills, even ready to try and support Joker. Because it's very rare you'll find 2 people drop red. And even holding the flank from that doesn't really happen because people think, no one flanks red, no one will expect that, we're always going to hold that. But actually backfires against you.
Especially when there's an edge up there as well, you really do sort of take it out of your mind and you're like, we'll wait for the edge up to go off.
I think Falcons are understanding the meta very well.
Yeah.
Very well with how you need to play and how you need to get in there with the refrags. I'm impressed with the improvement. And, you know, yeah, look at that. You're never going to expect someone to go for those swings. Just a little bit of damage to cause, a little bit more to O-Kill, sure, but it just makes NIP worry a little bit more. A minute to go, Ollie, and all they have is red stairs. That's all they have.
They're going to kill onto J-Lad, so they finally leveled things up a little bit as well. But a heck of a long way to go here, especially when you consider that you've got things like memory gadgets to go through.
Let's go through the blooming mirror window still as well.
Yeah, you got the mirror window. You didn't get any value out of the shock drone, so you've got that to contend with.
I have a feeling that they're probably going to panic NIP, and they may just think, right, we either have to do or die. We have to try and sweep the top floor, get these kills, and that's where Joker's going to pounce because they're not taking the time to drone. And Joker, no, never mind, he gets caught out, Ollie. A pre-fire from Muzi will go in. His Quib's going to be ready. No, misses the shots, and Comms finds 2. NIP, they had to take the chance, Ollie. They just had to say, we have to go for kills. This is all we can do, and it's worked out for them. O-Kills now in a 1 versus 4. Does find 1. 2 of them in the corridor. Gets 1, but not the second. Wizard ready. Quick on the trigger. NIP, it was looking desperate, Ollie, for a stage there. A minute to go. Nothing really going for them. And they say, you know what, let's just outgun them, and they did just that.
It's one of the things we often say about teams that are on the edge of greatness is they're able to pull rounds out of nowhere, and NIP really pulled that one out of nowhere. They lost first blood again, they didn't get the best value out of their utility, and it really seemed like they didn't have many places to go. But a good bit of teamwork there really led in, and a bit of fortune as well. There's potential for a bit of overpeak there on the side of Falcons. You could look at a couple of those kills and go, was it just a little bit too aggressive? Did we really need to try and retake up White Stairs? Or could Quibs have dropped off through the laundry hatch a little bit sooner? All of those things can be looked at in detail afterwards, but NIP made good decisions in the moment. And then they were left with no option. They just had to press on.
Final round, we go upstairs, which was probably the best round the Falcons had. It was over before it really started for NIP. And NIP, well, they brought up their old friends, Old Faithful. You know, that's what it's like. It's whenever things, it's really getting down to it. It's the final battle scene. The old man walks in, and on the wall, on the mantelpiece, Old Faithful.
Yep.
That's what the Montagne is for NIP.
It's a hero film, isn't it? You know, the young superhero goes to his old father who's a retired superhero and he passes him across the whatever it is.
Batman giving up a suit, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, you get the suit,
Tony Stark.
You get the car, whatever it might be, and you pull the dust cover off it and it's as good as all the modern stuff. In reality, it's just a shield that's bulletproof.
It's just a shield, that's it.
But sometimes it's enough. The only thing I don't like is I don't like Cons on it. He's 7-3 at the minute. He's doing really well. He's had a cracking game so far.
Yeah. I've seen that a few times where NIP, sometimes the top fragger does take the shields operators, for example. I think Pino was doing it as well in Clash, I think yesterday for a few times. But anyway, NIP, gonna need to make this round count. I had a stormer off in attacks yesterday on Kafe, but here it's not working out too well for them. If they lose this round, it will be an even half, which, I mean, I think for Falcons, they'll be more than happy because it shows improvements from what it was yesterday. And then they still get a chance to attack this map also. Falcons going to play that man suicide position inside Cigar Shop. Doesn't really have too much protection, only not a lot of utility. Again, a mute jammer would have been great just to deny that access. I think NIP have really relied on, you know, is the drone work today.
Ooh, Psycho. Has he fallen off a rappel? J-Lad going to finish him off there. Wizard will be there for the trade back immediately. He seemed to fall and down himself as he got down the red hatch. Not really too sure what went on there for poor old Psycho, but J-Lad going to be in a bit of a tricky situation. No way, the Monty unshielded. Cons is feeling himself today. Wizard was there for the backup, but that was a risky play. Advantage currently, NIP. Cons can now start to move through and further gather a little bit of information, but he needs a bit more support here.
Need the mirror windows now to really come into play. A lot of nades being tossed at P9. He does move out of that. Maybe looking to try and activate. Oh, trying to activate that gadget on the doorway, but it's being denied it right now by Pino. P9 will take up the position behind the mirror window. But there is still some Selma charges that Wizard can use, Ollie.
Going to be maybe looking to focus those onto the mirror windows. It's all about the timing. Cons, he'll be worried about that white stairs flank. That's a big point of vulnerability here at the moment for him. O'Kills will be down there. Quibs, just trying to provide a little bit of distraction here, but with how solo Cons is, it isn't ideal. P9 will find himself down.
No! Cons is unshielded on.
He unshielded again. He's got too confident with that. Look at Quibs go. Picks up two. A lot of information here as well. And now O'Kills can flank. He was up white a second ago, but now he's gone for red. Look at how much time's remaining. There's nothing on the clock.
Skylight drop.
Quibs, he's going to be in the hot seat here. Primed and ready, but taken down by Pino. 1 second. Where's the kit? Nobody grabs the kill.
Where was the kit?
And Falcons secure the round.
Where was the kit? Falcons are looking at each other like, what's going on? But that was close. Falcons, I mean, Quibs, obviously the mirror window. For some reason, Cons is unshielded.
Again,
I don't know why.
Second time that round.
He's done that. He pays the price. And then Quibs shows, again, the power of the mirror window. You cannot challenge against that if you're in piano. You get melted immediately. Where's this diffuser? So Muzi has it at the moment. Where's Muzi died? It was in piano the whole time. It was in piano the whole time. NIP are kicking themselves at that.
Yeah, they'll be frustrated with that one. Really frustrated. It's a 3-3 half, though.
Yeah.
It isn't the end of the world. It isn't terrible for either side. NIP will be looking at going, God, that really should have been 4-2. Falcons on the flip side, they should be pretty happy.
A lot of issues. Whew. Right, here we go. Round 7, first defense for NIP. And the lineup's a little bit different. We're seeing a Frost come in. We're seeing an Alibi come in. A couple of interesting pickups. No
Psycho's a Bailiff player.
I mean, more the gun more than anything, I would say, for the MX4 Storm. Falcons and their lineup, again, more nades. That's what they like. We've seen them excel really well with that on border. And again, I've talked about the utility dump that is always going to be featured on a map like Kafe. It's very, very important. They will be looking for the east side to take, mostly because nades are a lot better for east side, because you get better nades.
Go! J-Lad, that was perfect. It was the teamwork that went with it. He maybe finds himself a second here. He's going to have to play the dance inside of that laundry rotate, though. Cons.
Oh, Cons.
He's aware. Muzi's there as well. J-Lad finds himself a second. What a lucky headshot. Till taken down.
Threw them back up.
You'd be back up. You'd be happy if you were J-Lad with that. 2 for 1.
NIP have committed 4 players. They've lost 2.
I'll take that every day of the week.
That's it.
Every day of the week.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Now they're really grasping at straws.
Who was that?
Cons back in the fray of things again. I mean, Falcons right now, I mean, Piano is an absolute freeb. No one's over there now.
The site feels free. You've only got 3 defenders. You can't watch everything. It's surely only a matter of time.
And that's just it with Kafe. There's so many ways in, Ollie. You have skylight drops. You have the hatches you can drop. You have all the windows you can go into. Man advantage is so key on Kafe because, like you said, it does feel like as a defender, if you're behind man advantage, you're trying to hold 10 different things at once, and you can't do that.
Cons, unfortunate there, not to land.
They know he's below now.
Better shot, but
that's it.
4 versus 1. Cons, you're going to be coming up these stairs. O'Kills actually gets caught out in a frost mat there in the final few seconds, but it won't matter anything. Final kill comes through there for Falcons. What an explosive entry from J-Lad.
What a mess from NIP. What a mess. They just ran around. That's what it felt like, almost tier 3-ish. With the way it was, they just kept running around looking for kills, jumping out windows. You know, I don't know, it wasn't clean at all for NIP. You know, 2 of them downstairs, and we seen Cons jump out a window, and Needless swing onto a skylight for goodness sake, nobody watching piano, all over the place.
No surprise to note now that NIP have taken their time out. They've chosen now as a good time to try and steady this ship.
If you're Chubbs and you've watched that round behind, you want to call the timeout.
You would be going mental.
Look, don't really know what that was.
Do you speak Portuguese? Like,
no,
or are you just making things up again? Are we going for the...
We spent a year in Brazil. If we didn't get it by then, I don't think we'll get it by now. 2
rounds until Falcons will be on a map and series point here.
Everyone enjoying themselves, having a good time.
I think we'll go and watch the next game in the stage.
See, people don't actually know. They're not Falcons fans. They're there to see Chambers. People don't realize that. He's big. He's worldwide.
Round number 8 now as it rolls on in. More of the last round, please, from Falcons.
So if we're saying that, you know, Monty's kind of old faithful.
Yeah.
Castle's old reliable.
Old reliable,
That's the second one.
A little duo, aren't they?
Honestly, NIP, they love the Castle. We've seen so much gameplay. And again, I'm still shocked that teams haven't actually went and banned the Castle against them and really ruined probably about half of the strats that NIP have.
Best thing about the last round is it didn't really matter where the site was. There was 0 site play.
You'd think that was like a mid-floor.
It could have been anywhere. Yeah. It really could have been anywhere. It just didn't matter. Falcons were just better.
So this is very nice from NIP. I love the setup that we see inside of Cigar Shop. That's, honestly, it's probably one of the only places I would say, yeah, observation blockers actually get a ton of value, is literally for this one bomb site on this one room and this one map. That's the only way I'm giving credit to that gadget at the moment. If you think about how Cigar Shop works, the biggest issue with that is if someone is on this rappel that you see Joker on, with that observation blocker, you're able to stop any drones wins, and then Joker can swing freely if he knows he has a free kill. He'll not be able to see that, and you know, Joker's not just going to stick his head in through a window where he has no idea what he's swinging into.
Joker going to be hanging out on the rappel, gets a good bit of value out of the drone there, figures out that majority of piano is going to be clear.
I like Wizard's position downstairs. I think that just adds an extra layer into the kind of support that you're trying to structure with the whole piano Cigar Shop, because they kind of complement one another as well, isn't it? Where he's inside Cigar Shop, you know, if they start pushing in towards piano, he can just easily see 4 below.
Jayla going to make his way up those white stairs with the parrot in hand, takes Muzi down. Muzi not having a great time of things at the minute. 3 and 7. Is going to cut the mustard. Psycho to be at the top of white stairs on Lumber, just seeing if there's anything that he can do to try and assist this push and to stop it from going forward. Cons, he'll be in position to take O kills down. NIP can breathe a sigh of relief. There's only going to be 1 nade left in the hands of Falcons. But at an equal 4-4, and especially with the map control now that Falcons own, not doing too badly. Looks like they got a bit of information here for white stairs as well.
Yeah, and Hatch is also soft inside piano. Joker gets a freebie, yeah. But piano is open to them. They can have the Hatch. They can maybe try and drop in towards Train, and this is where NIP are getting really desperate. Only a flank up red stairs. P9 is ready for it. And NIP, it seems to be similar of last round, where they're just running around trying to get kills, but Falcons, they're just playing it very calm, very collected. We've seen a couple of pings, good information. They're doing the basics right.
Great information exchange, I think, from Falcons, and they've really covered the map quite well as well. We've seen players like J-Lad, he's been in, you know, in the top white and out Joker again. He's been covering the map like a midfielder. Wizard, he's going to find himself 1 over onto P9. He's got a bit of information here. Does he know that J-Lad's down? The C4 might confirm both of them here. He'll only grab 1. Quibs in position to grab that final kill. We edge ever closer here to Falcons locking in these playoffs.
I think Joker just everywhere that map, creating the chaos for NIP. And for NIP on Kafe, it seems to be a similar issue with Border. Because I feel that...
You all right?
Just taking in the culture.
Just taking in the crowd. It's nice to not hear like a let's go chant, you know? I think we had a bit of let's go Falcons at the start. We can let them off for that one, but...
Now we've just got, oh.
I'm here for it. And the flags, I'm here for it.
But yeah, Joker being able to create the chaos. And NIP, same issues what they had in Border. They lose a player, they lose a portion of the map, and they don't really do anything to get it back. They don't do anything. And they're getting frustrated. You can see the emotions, like he's not happy.
I think they're happy.
Yeah, they're buzzing.
I think Falcons are really pleased. Falcons will look for the fight today as well. Yeah, feels a little bit different. That confidence is returned a little bit, hasn't it? It's like, yeah, we've gotten over the stage now. We've gotten over the main stage fight. You've got to remember that NIP as a team, as a core, have played on stages all over the world.
The biggest stages of the world.
And the biggest stages in Siege. This is a fantastic stage, and it's pretty huge. Falcons, yeah, they played Gamers8 last year, and the stage this year is a little bit bigger and better. It's a big undertaking to play on that sort of a stage.
Of course, we've talked about this before. It's the work in progress for this side. We know that the best is yet to come for this Falcons side, but if they can knock off a big team like NIP on the way to lifting that trophy this weekend, I mean, what a story going forward for this side, because we know that this side, in terms of mana, they're always going to be the favorites to qualify into the majors, because they are the best team in this region.
Let's see if they can handle the pressure. As we've already mentioned, we're edging closer to Falcons locking in that playoff spot. NIP very much in a do-or-die position. They need to pick up a couple of rounds here and at least level things out. You can already sort of see an overtime in NIP's future if they are to be successful on this map. I just don't want to see NIP trying too hard for this. They need to be smart with the siege that they're playing. I don't feel like we're seeing very smart siege out of NIP at the moment.
It's panic stations. If something goes wrong, someone tries to fix it, and they almost, you know, whenever someone tries to fix a mistake and they've made an even bigger mistake, that's what it's like.
It's kind of funny as well because Falcons are going for quite an NIP sort of style approach here.
They're waiting
for mistakes, seeing if they can force an error.
So there is 3 players upstairs for NIP. One guy is going to be positioned inside Piano, one in bathroom, and also one at the back of Cocktail. So they're not, I would say, together in terms of refrags. Like, I'd be surprised if, you know, the guy in Piano is able to get refragged with the positions that the Wamai's in, with the position that the guy in Cocktail could be as well. Collins, he's actually found a pick. I wonder where that's from. Is that a run out? Yeah, he's killed the guy, I think, rappelling towards east, and that's where Diffuser is as well, so keep an eye on that. That may come in to bite Falcons in the behind later on. They need to pick up that Diffuser. With only 45 seconds, someone's going to need to go and do that job.
P9's going to clean up for the nades that missed earlier on. Wizard, he's successful on 2 kills, but P9's just going to keep on going. He finds his second of the round. Now he'll open up that castle barricade and see if there's anything that he can find. Psycho picks one, but he isn't good for the second. All level at 2 versus 2. The HP advantage firmly with the Falcons.
Looking Piano right now, we see a rotation from Cons. He's actually walked all the way out white stairs, and they have no idea. Never mind, they did. Quibs had an idea who was there, and it goes essentially into a 1 versus 1, and Quibs has to get the kill. There is no Diffuser, and he gets the kill, Ollie! I was worried so much about Falcons. The Diffuser was outside, it was in the snow, it was buried in the snow. And somehow they just move in, kill after kill after kill, and they end up on top.
Match the series point here for Falcons, and you can hear that crowd. They're getting ready to roar if Falcons are going to walk away with this one and lock in that playoff spot. NIP, they're playing scared. They really got caught off guard there. I think Cons did a good job of obviously swinging and picking up that kill. Pino stayed alive for a good deal of time. He got quite fortunate with the nade timing, but it was just a desperate attempt to try to refrag onto P9 that really caused the downfall there for NIP.
Psycho, he finds one, but he had no idea about the second.
He didn't have a clue, did he?
No idea. And in this kill here, Quibs, he didn't know he was there because he wasn't really holding the angle onto Pixel. So Quibs, honestly, the man off the round, Ollie. My goodness. Woo!
Really good on the pre-fires as well.
Yeah. Very sharp.
Very impressive.
Very sharp.
Could have very easily lost that engagement there with Muzi, especially if you think about the 9mm, close range like that, it's going to chew through you.
If this team beats NIP, they've knocked off the SI21 champions. Last year they knocked off the SI22 champions, and as we've seen, they've knocked off the SI23 champions. Oh my goodness. A team from Men has done that? Serious?
The thing is, strange things will have happened. Like, I saw the tweet from Pojo where he was like, oh, you won SI? Oh, you changed the player? Oh, you went to...
Did they beat, did they beat SSG last year?
Yeah, we got knocked out.
Did they beat SSG last year?
I'd have to look it up. I can't recall.
Or did Canio and his lot knock them off? What's worse, losing the Falcons or losing the Canio?
The way the Falcons have played today, they would deserve that playoff spot entirely. Played fantastically, especially considering we were given this to be a NIP map.
I mean, the maps just across the board. I mean, you would just favor NIP. This is the thing for Falcons. I just feel as though this competition, you're always going to favor whoever they're up against just because they don't have the experience compared to some of the teams that are here at this event. But they've proved us wrong. Yeah. And we love this. This is what it's all about.
And the thing is, they're gaining that experience. And every event that ticks by, you take them a little bit more seriously.
They get the feeling of winning about them.
Get that feeling.
Yeah. But
they've still got to lock it in here. It really isn't over just yet. NIP, they like the last 15 seconds of a clock. They love a best of 3. They quite like making things hard for himself.
Well, they went Kitchen Ollie. And looking at the setup on Kitchen downstairs, it's something that you expect to see. It's a coverage of every area of that basement. You have the VIP restaurant in towards bakery. Basically what Falcons did. Falcons will be just straight in. They'll see that. They have the Jackal to assist with this attack specifically if there is the odd roamer, which we've seen Falcons execute a very good roam on their defense. And now they can just rip up everything. But as you can see, everyone is away from the bomb site. That's how it happens. Whenever you know you're dealing with a bomb site that is so heavy in vertical destruction, you have to try and hold the map from other positions. You have to try and get into positions that you know teams are still going to have to push and still use utility in that doesn't rely on verticality.
Jayla just seeing if he can catch anybody here rotating out or moving between those ancillary positions. He knows there's somebody inside of Christmas, but Wizards a little bit quicker on the trigger. Joker, he's dropped in as well. There's a heavy focus here on the bottom of these white stairs. We've got O'Kills moving into position for this as well. Wizards able to grab himself another. He's done his job and more, but no, he's taken out. And now Falcons have access to the site. Not only that, but they've got the diffuser with him.
P9 looking to creep down towards red stairs. Pre-fires, the smoke is there, but Psycho finds Joker, who was in the bomb site. Down goes P9. Psycho with the double kill, and Quibs, well, he done well to get that first kill, but that's all they're gonna get. Only the one kill around. NIP holding it down firm. I think that first kill, Ollie, inside a restaurant was a very important one to get for NIP.
NIP did a really good job of keeping things quite simple there. No extended roam, no worry about the rest of the map. It was very simply, we give them the control and we are just going to wait. This is match point. We know this means a lot to both sides, and we're just going to bank on them making a couple more mistakes. Hey, look, we've got the phones out now. We've got the screen with the little Falcon sort of letters on it. I'm here for it. Great position holding there from Wizard. And again, you know, there's a question to say, did Falcons do all that they could to get rid of that Christmas player? Where was the player at the bottom of Brown? You know, where was the player on the double window? O'Kills gets there maybe a little bit quicker, can start to throw a nade in. Obviously, you've got a little bit of burn to contend with. Yeah. But I think the Flores stun that went through flashed immediately, so I don't think Wizard have played any of his utility in there.
You always mentioned about, you know, Falcons knocking off SI. King George is here. Should we have King George versus Falcons? See if they can knock him off.
Honestly, mention King George so many different
1v5. Honestly, I think George, he'd be in for a look-in.
I haven't seen him yet.
You haven't seen him yet? No. Neither have I. But he is here. Or did I make it all up? Made it all up. Yeah, he's not here. I'm pretty sure he's here. I think him and Bolo are...
I saw Bolo.
Yeah,
I saw Bolo bring the trophy out.
Down into the reading now, Ollie, is where we head. NIP having to pull 2 rounds in a row, Ollie, to take it to OT. Falcons, what is their approach going to be? Obviously, NIP will look to hold that top floor. They went with the castle barricade setup in towards Cigar Shop and have extended once again towards the likes of the back of Cocktail, in towards Bathroom. But really, the first issue that they're going to struggle with, Falcons, is just getting rid of Muzi. They don't have a hefty amount of utility. They brought 9 breaching charges, so they're missing the odd flashbangs here and there. Only the 2 sets of nades. And there is ADSs on board also. So I think they'll struggle in that department.
Activating replicator.
There are still things they can use to burn those ADSs, but it is less than ideal. to be using those air jabs, for example.
Moosey's actually dropped off. He's not in cigar shop anymore.
You see a bit of a rotation now coming up through those white stairs as well.
Moosey's in bathroom, has the mirror window. You see the perspective he gets, and you see it kind of covers majority off piano. And also one thing as well about the mirror window that Moosey is behind is you can get a really good angle towards anyone walking in towards cocktail bar. He's not actually behind it though, Ollie, but I'm sure that the IQ will probably be scared as he goes for the swing. I'm really shocked that they've actually left that mirror window.
The mirror is definitely a power position, especially given that the castle barricade's on there as well. You've not even got the vulnerability from the rappel. ADS played in there as well. It's a bit of utility that maybe could have been played for a little bit longer, but NIP obviously comfortable enough to drop back off that for the time being. A little bit of diffuser juggling going on as well. Moosey, he's going to strike first. Position to knock Joker down.
I worry now for Falcons.
Don't like Quibs' position at the moment.
Oh, Jalad has got in towards Train Ollie and will try and see if he can maybe enter in towards Dining. He is by himself, so no one's going to be there for a refrag to help him out. P9 has somehow stumbled his way in towards Red Corridor, Ollie towards Pillars, and that is a deadly position to be in. Oh, a great kill. I thought Wizard was going to have the advantage on him, but P9 was ready for it. And now Falcons are in a position where they could maybe try and get the plant out, but never mind. Moosey will eliminate Jalad, who was trying to support P9 as they were trying to work their way into the bomb site.
P9 now is going to be in the read in 90, gets a chance, but that's all you ever will see against Psycho. This is immediately taken on out. Psycho collecting the final two. You cannot give NIP the momentum here. You need to close it out, Falcons. This is getting a little bit dangerous. I'm starting to smell an overtime.
Shaky. Very, very shaky. NIP didn't really have to do much, did they? I mean, I felt as though Falcons never really wanted to take above. Did they really want to take anything? It felt very strange, very by themselves, everyone trying to do their own thing, but you know, instead of all meeting at the one place, you know, this guy, he's turned up 5 minutes early. This guy, he's just arrived. This guy didn't even get a message. That's what it feels like.
Did we not get the booking time correct on the reservation?
Group chat in shambles.
Group chat's in shambles. NIP have been given a chance and an opportunity here. One round here would see us catapulted into an overtime, and then it's anyone's. Filler starts to become a very real possibility at that point.
We do, however, go downstairs now into the kind of fourth choice bomb site for the most part for a lot of teams. It's going to be that mining and dining. NIP have lost this bomb site already here in this series. See if they can change anything up. Again, that cigar shop being locked down by that trusted castle. Did I... Yeah, just seeing... What was I just seeing? I seen something. Yeah, they've opened up the entirety of the freezer wall, so that's going to give them a good hefty rotate in and out. You see, it's kind of like a maze, almost like a... It's kind of like a triangle where you can move in and out around everything. Castle barricade to stop the angle and skylight, which is good as well. Of course, the only issue with that is if the castle barricade goes down, that rotates null and void then. So it's a good setup from NIP. It does rely on Falcons being very lackluster with the utilities there, but Falcons have been pretty good today. Opened up a lot of castle barricades. Yeah,
Falcons have been pretty efficient on that. They've got plenty of tools to deal with that as well. They've got the Hibana, they've got the Ash. They've got quite a lot they can do to deal with that at range. Wizard just going to be occupying the site on his own for the time being. Quibs. They're going to go for a bit more of a direct approach. There's a few drones swarming the site there. Surely they're going to opt to take this vertical control first of the hatch. Well, the hatch is actually reinforced as well, so there's no quick option for these defenders to get back down to site.
Oh, I like this position from J-Lad because he's going to try and primarily take down the player inside of Reading, which is the castle at the moment. Psycho actually controls a lot of the fundamentals of what NIP are wanting to achieve with this particular bomb site. Reading kind of controls the flow of how the game goes. If the attackers have control of Reading, pretty much it cuts off all the flanks. You don't have control of white stairs, you don't have control of red. If they take down Psycho and Reading, that will prove very, very vital. Cons has been eliminated with a nade. An opening kill goes in favor of Falcons. NIP losing that first engagement, and typically that doesn't bode well. And also that's Cons who's been their best player tonight.
Cons has been a standout so far for NIP. Another player you want to be seeing down first. Psycho
holds
will
his own.
Be there with the bite back though. taking down P9.
See, it's such an important position so we can rotate between the staircases, make sure he can support pretty much everyone on his team. Crucial position.
The fact that Psycho has survived in there, it just adds further strength to this hole that NIP have got going on.
Ooh, Joker doesn't
Joker's going to
know.
try and make his way up the stairs, but he had no idea that Muzi was occupying that space. Now Muzi can look for a bit of a rotation. Well, that was almost the collapse, at least the start of it. Quibs, upside down repel. We've got 4 kills to find in 30 seconds. Otherwise, we're facing overtime.
I think we are facing overtime now, Ollie. Quibs has a lot to do. 20 seconds on the clock. This isn't an ad for Pengu, don't worry. Diffuser cold in the site as well. Has to get that picked up, but yeah, I just think the time's against them now. But NIP held it very well, Ollie. They held their power positions against Psycho. You have to give a nod to him, as he does just bite the bullet. But never in doubt for NIP. So it is going to be an OT, Ollie. Falcons have let it slip, and they've opened the door, and NIP have moved in, and it looks as if they're maybe going to try and lock the door behind them.
Really curious now to see what sides we get. I really want to know the side switch here because NIP, they've started to come alive a little bit here. They started off the game fantastically well. They've got a great form of starting off the game in a fine fashion and then dropping off slowly but surely.
Oh, love it.
Fantastic name.
Yeah, Psycho, that's the position I like to see Psycho. Being able to rotate, being able to actually swing when it matters, unlike what he was doing on Border. That's whenever it works, and Psycho's very strong. I think Psycho's very good in positions where it does require a bit of movement, a bit of mobility, whereas you think of that position in Border,
It's too static.
you have to sit in the one spot. You don't really have a lot of room to maneuver, where he's very flexible, and if you give him space to roam, yeah, he can do wonders. He's loving it. He wasn't loving it a few rounds ago, though.
He certainly wasn't.
But they've pulled it out.
8 and 8, he's pulled it back. Defense for Falcons.
I want to say this will favor them a bit more.
NIP started off really strong on the attack. Falcons, they didn't start off fantastically on the defense. They really warmed into it.
But look at the bomb site choice.
Yeah, we're back to that top floor.
Played it twice, won it twice.
Yeah.
And that's really, as long as you get the one round, that's all you need, isn't it? It's overtime. You don't need to do a full rotation, Ollie. Just a few will do.
I'm surprised that we've not seen the Twitch come out. Psycho's had mixed success with the Twitch and those shock drones versus these mirror windows. One round we see him get both. The next round we don't see him get any. So, you know, it would have been nice to maybe see him try that again, but instead going to be opting for the Flores. Adding into that soft destruction.
Falcons doing same old, nothing too crazy. Set up the mirror windows. A bit of pressure in towards Piano. Seems as though NIP, they're happy enough to start probing that Piano side of the map. That's really going to try and go for, because you'd see a lot more pressure towards the kind of east side at this stage if it was going to be the other end of the spectrum. Again, for Kafe, you choose, do you either go Piano or do you go Cocktail Bar? You don't have a choice. That's the only really two attacks you have for top floor. And I think that's probably an element of why it makes it really difficult, just in this bomb site in general, because you don't have a lot of options. Unless NIP have cooked up, you know, a skylight drop.
The thing is, you've usually got to do a little bit of something in the other place as well. You can't just solely focus on one or the other.
That's poor.
Pino, he's dominated this rappel on the attacks. Absolutely loves the south rappel.
Yeah, Joker, if you're playing in that position, you should know that you can get killed from that window, and he turns his back to him. Very strange.
Okil's looking for a little bit of a flank here.
It's 2 air jabs.
Got the air jabs to contend with. Maybe he's not too concerned if he can just get a nice little ang.
Drop the diffuser.
Can maybe get a freebie here, Ollie, because
If he catches someone on the drop.
the air jab kind of gives a bit of false
yeah.
confidence. So, and it will, Ollie.
Not only is the hard breacher, no secondary gadget either. It's going to make moving through into that freezer area a little bit more difficult.
Mirror windows untouchable, essentially. Massive kill. NIP are going to really struggle with eliminating the mirror windows. You've seen them struggle against Quibs on it. The last round they were up here. And O-Kills is now going to come back to side. Again, even O-Kills is still going to be a threat, because that's the Solus. It's been displayed that they have the Solus. He could rotate below and stop a plant in the late stage.
Who's he going to move in? He's got a good bit of info on the IQ scanner, but happy enough to proceed.
Look at the rotate now from NIP. 2 on the skylight. 1 player going over towards the east. Ollie, they're maybe looking for a skylight drop and using the windows to try and swing in, realizing the mirror windows are not going to let them through. But down goes the man on the east rappel. A great C4. But but they still have more players that they need to find. But Falcons in a great position. Down goes 2, in towards the skylight. O'Kills will find Wizard, and both of them trapped inside of Long Bar. They will get shredded. Falcons into the meat grinder. They put NIP. They went for a last gasp. As soon as they lose that ace, Ollie, like you mentioned, that's it.
Yeah,
it's done.
Absolutely
it's done.
Gone. They threw the kitchen sink down the skylight in an attempt to try and make something happen, and all they did was just fall into the guns of Falcons that were waiting for them. Fantastic play from O'Kills.
Yeah. There's that little pick. Just
navigating the air jabs is
false.
Sense of security.
Mm.
Little bit of a sound sort of buffer as well. You've got a slight bit of distraction with a little beep beep going on. Brilliant timing.
I'm very impressed today.
Match and series point now for Falcons for the second time. Here we are, locked into the overtime. Are we going to need every available round, or are Falcons going to be able to get it done here and now? The side switch, NIP take us downstairs. This is where they first saw some success on their defenses. They came downstairs to the kitchen after a timeout, and it worked quite well for them. There was no fancy roam game. There was no serious extensions.
Just held their
It was
positions.
just to play your positions.
Falcons obviously realizing that this is going to be the site. They've brought in the Jackal to help them if there is any presence of roamers. Obviously Sledge for the verticality. And the Ossa makes an appearance. Also, Ollie, this is an operator that we've obviously seen NIP. They've tried to adapt into their kitchen attacks, where you use that as a form of coverage for the plant. Only the 1C4 from the Warden this time around. Maybe Muzi just preemptively picking that in case there could be the odd, final round rush. You never know.
Well, you never know, do you? It's not a bad gun. You get a decent sight. You get the C4.
I love the way you went decent sight. That's what you mentioned immediately.
These guys love the 1.5 though, don't they? NIP and the 1.5, it's quite the duo. You're really going to force them off it.
I want to see Falcons really try and pressure that player inside of VIP. I feel as though Wizard went really unchecked, and the best way to really apply pressure to someone in that position is, of course, force your way through White Corridor, we know that, but there should also be someone outside main door on that double window that looks in towards restaurant. That kind of catches the back end, and Wizard I seen him in 2 times where he actually backed up into that vision line, but no one was there. I would like to see that adaptation when Falcons rotate someone around and just keep applying pressure to NIP. Don't make them feel safe.
Falcons should know exactly where Wizard's going to play. They know that someone's going to be playing inside of Christmas there, and they know how to deal with it. They're just going to go first so far, and why not? If you know that no one's rotating, if you know that no one's roaming, take advantage of it. Really rip open the floor, leave somebody up there, and then you can start to go and catch people below. Setting up this Ossa shield is going to give a little bit more of something to peek from.
Look at Joker
Look
right
where
now.
Joker is.
Yeah, Joker's around towards that double window. Gilad has been eliminated, though, by Muzi. That was the Ossa, Ollie. That's a bit of an issue now, because that was going to be their main way of getting in and trying to go for a plant. P9 and Joker have rotated towards main door. The main issue is really getting rid of the guy inside a coat. They don't have any nades in a good position to really utilize. As we can see, the Sledge is still upstairs doing verticality. So P9 just has to face check it, and that's never going to be a reliable way. He goes to the pre-fire, but the Fenrir gadget will block the vision. The gun, the MP7 in the close range environment. It's Joker. He's just standing in the toxins.
They can see you. It's only that you can't see them. They can still see through that, and they know exactly.
He thinks he was born in the darkness. He wasn't.
Cons, a tank nade there. Joker, O'Kills. Let's try and work together in these final 25. They're only now just going to be able to get rid of the Fenrir gadget. Really doesn't seem too worth it at this point. Plenty of vert to be looking at as well, but you've got a heck of a lot of kills to find, and Cons isn't going to leave the coat, and he's going to have won the round for his team at this point. O'Kills above, will he find an impactless frag? No. Psycho, he's going to close him down. Every round available, we are going all the way.
We are indeed. They had the right idea, Falcons, but the execution was poor. Very, very poor in how they actually went about that. Losing the Ossa immediately, we didn't see the kill. I'm excited to see the replay because, again, nobody can hide from us, Ollie. We'll see every misplay, every challenge you go for. We've got you.
Let's have a look. J-Lad, what went wrong? Talk to us.
What did go wrong?
I mean, he's going to have peaked, isn't he? The thing is, if you're coming up that against that many problems dealing with the player inside of Christmas, just push Bakery.
Oh,
if you're going to go for all that vert, just
replays.
push them down. Every time we want the replays, they never turn up, do they? Maybe we're in the highlight package at the end. Back down to the Bakery we go.
Oh, MIP.
This time...
Oh, how you tease us.
This time it is Falcons on the defense.
Yeah.
Right. This is much better. This is straight out of the strat book from the other day from NIP.
This is direct. This is their minimalistic. All they do will take Bakery and that's it. Capital comes in to help them clear away anyone that could be in towards Bakery. Also helps if anyone's stuck in towards double window.
Also helps if anyone's above.
Yeah, we smoke off the vertical angles. That's also what they did. Good point. This is more what I think NIP they're going to be comfortable with. I hope Falcons have had a watch and they can maybe try and put a fight against it, but with really... There's nothing to counter the Monty. They have literally nothing. Well, a couple of explosives, and that's not going to really do the job. Yeah, it's going to be difficult, but NIP, they'll know how to play this. This is, you know, it's like waking up in the morning. That's what it's like for NIP.
Especially with the players that are offside. Look at this! Oh, Joker! Fantastically done.
Massive kill as well. Nade's gone, which, as we know, is vital for clearing out Bakery.
You really do need the nades. Muzi having a hard time of things. 10 and 10. Don't always see him going evens.
C4, waste it.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
nice
better.
Play from J-Lab.
That's where they struggled last time because they let that wall get opened up and they put someone in a position towards tables so they can eliminate that. A lot better from Falcons. You can see they've adapted.
I think the wall will eventually get opened. I think it did actually go off there as we did see the push back. Just trying to secure that position inside of Wedding.
Oh, P9.
P9, hello?
Oh.
You're in no man's land here. Goes to detonate the
disabled,
but it's actually caught out by the EMP. Unlucky stuff. That's really unfortunate from Falcons because they've thought about these little steps. They've known what to sort of prep for and what to be aware of.
It's a good angle from Gilad, but he has to make sure he hits the head onto that Capital. But Psycho's called him out. Now he knows where he is. Psycho was so oppressive, wasn't he, on this Monty? He's seen everyone. He knew exactly who everyone was and just fed that information.
And we do have Joker above getting ready for a little bit of vert as well, just inside of that prep. He needs to kind of start making it quickly.
There is a player from NIP actually rotating towards main door. He's trying to go for a bit of a backstab. It's going to be Wizard, and they're going to try and pinch the guys inside of Coat, because Coat's obviously going to be the main issue for them. Getting rid of Coat. If they can take him out, which they have, the backstab pressure, along with Pino fighting the long angle, it has worked. And now Wizard's actually jumped. No, he's not. He's jumped away. I thought Wizard's maybe going to try and take control of Coat, but instead tries to hold the flank.
Doesn't need to commit too hard. Joker could have a part to say about this.
Oh, Joker's
he is going to be upstairs. He does have the vert to work with, but this is the problem. You've got the Capital arrows coming through and denying.
They've lost the pressure.
He's going to take Cons down. The plant was going down for a time, but Psycho's come off it for a brief moment. He's going to re-attempt here as Pino storms through, taking O-kills down. There's going to be info on this. We can see the bulletproof, but it's likely not going to matter. Pino's going to clean up shop. Joker, he's going to find one onto Psycho, and he's going to leave us in a 1 versus 2 here. Pino, you've got to do everything to keep your team in this, otherwise you're going home. Finds one, doesn't know about the second. Joker, I think he's actually hitting that rotate. He's just at the bottom of those red stairs right now. This would be an ace clutch for Pino to keep NIP in this and to take us on to our third and final map. He's going to get a glimpse, just misses the shot. All he's got to do is stay alive. Pino, look at him go! Keeps NIP in the competition. That is going to be huge for them, an ace clutch to do it.
Fantastic positioning in that late stage of that 1v1. I love the way he just keep moving back. Give yourself the best cover you can have. My oh my, NIP, they go back to basics, Ollie. They go back to what they're comfortable with. What